The air at the Armstrong Flight Research Center is thick with anticipation, a strange mix of desert heat and palpable tension. On the giant screens inside Mission Control, numbers tick down with a relentless heart-pounding rhythm. T-minus 30 seconds. On the tarmac, bathed in the harsh Mojave sun, sits the X-91 Valkyrie, a sleek, unpiloted craft that looks more like a weapon from a science fiction movie than an airplane. It is strapped to a powerful booster rocket, its sharp nose pointed toward the thin blue veil of the upper atmosphere. This is not just another test flight. This is a leap into a new era of aviation, and there is no human pilot on board to guide it. Inside the control room, every console is a sea of green lights indicating that all systems are go. Engineers, their faces etched with a mixture of hope and anxiety, perform their final checks. The mission director's voice is calm but firm, cutting through the low hum of computers and hushed conversations. All stations confirm readiness for terminal count. A chorus of go echoes through the room. T-minus 20 seconds. 10. The sound suppression system begins to flood the launch area with water. 9. The clamps holding the vehicle to the ground are armed for release. 8. The world holds its breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. A colossal plume of fire and steam erupts from the base of the rocket, and the Valkyrie begins its violent climb to the heavens. Why is flying at hypersonic speeds, generally defined as anything above Mach 5, so incredibly difficult? It's a question that engineers have wrestled with for decades. The simple answer is that the world behaves differently when you move that fast. The air molecules can't get out of the way fast enough. They compress in front of the aircraft, creating a shockwave of immense pressure and, more importantly, unimaginable heat. This isn't just a little warm. We're talking about temperatures that can reach thousands of degrees Celsius, hot enough to turn the air itself into a glowing plasma. This extreme heat presents the first major challenge: materials. Standard aircraft aluminum would vaporize in an instant. The Valkyrie is built from exotic materials like ceramic composites and nickel-titanium alloys, materials that can withstand the thermal punishment. Then there is the problem of control. At hypersonic speeds, the airflow over the wings and control surfaces is chaotic and unpredictable. The shockwaves created by the aircraft's own movement can interfere with its flight surfaces, making it incredibly difficult to steer. A tiny adjustment that would be fine at lower speeds could cause a violent, uncontrollable tumble at Mach 7. Finally, there's the engine itself. A normal jet engine can't work at these speeds because the air entering it is moving too fast and is too hot. The Valkyrie uses a special type of engine called a scramjet, or supersonic combustion ramjet. A scramjet has no moving parts. It's often described as trying to light a match in a hurricane. Mastering this entire sequence is the grand challenge of hypersonic flight. Controlling the Valkyrie through this hostile environment is the job of its AI pilot, a sophisticated system codenamed Icarus. This name might seem like a dark joke, a reference to the Greek myth about flying too close to the sun. But for the engineering team, it's a reminder of the mission's core challenge: managing extreme heat with intelligence and restraint. Icarus is not a simple autopilot. It is a true artificial intelligence, capable of learning, adapting, and making decisions that its human creators might not have anticipated. Training Icarus was a monumental task that took years of work and millions of hours of simulated flight. In the beginning, the AI failed thousands of times a day, crashing the virtual aircraft in spectacular ways. But with each failure, it learned. The brain of Icarus is a neural network that works by taking in a massive flood of data from thousands of sensors all over the Valkyrie. Icarus processes this torrent of information in real time, constantly comparing the actual flight data to its predictive models. Unlike a simple computer program that just follows if-then instructions, Icarus can make creative judgments. It weighs the risks and rewards of every choice in a fraction of a second. The first phase of the Valkyrie's mission is a brutal, vertical climb, a pure display of raw power. The solid rocket booster is essentially a controlled explosion. As it thunders off the runway, the G-forces are immense, pressing down on the aircraft's structure with crushing weight. At an altitude of about 80,000 feet, the air is becoming thin enough for the next critical step. The booster rocket, its fuel now spent, has done its job. A signal from Icarus fires explosive bolts, and the massive booster separates. For a moment, the Valkyrie is in a silent, powerless glide, coasting on its momentum at around Mach 4. This is the moment of truth for the scramjet engine. Icarus opens the engine's air intake, and the violent supersonic air begins to rush through the engine duct. At the precise microsecond, Icarus injects hydrogen fuel into this hurricane of air and fires an igniter. There is a low-frequency roar, a vibration that shudders through the entire airframe, and then a new kind of acceleration. The scramjet has come to life. The screens in mission control show the speed rapidly climbing. Mach 4.5, Mach 5, Mach 5.5. The Valkyrie is now officially hypersonic. As the Valkyrie screams through the stratosphere at over 5,000 miles per hour, the speed ticks past the magic number, Mach 7. A quiet cheer ripples through the room, but the tension definitely remains. This is where the real test begins. At this velocity, the friction is so intense that the aircraft is encased in a sheath of incandescent plasma. From the ground, the Valkyrie would look just like a meteor streaking across the sky. This plasma is not just hot, it's also a major problem for communication. The superheated, ionized air blocks radio waves, creating a communications blackout. For several minutes, Mission Control can receive no data from the Valkyrie, and they cannot send it any new commands. During this time, Icarus is completely on its own. It is flying blind from the perspective of its creators on the ground. Inside the plasma bubble, Icarus is working furiously. Sensors report temperatures soaring to over 2,000 degrees Celsius on the leading edges of the wings and nose. Icarus makes tiny, continuous adjustments, rolling the vehicle slightly from side to side in a maneuver called thermal banking. The AI monitors data from hundreds of strain gauges. It can feel the airframe bending and flexing under the enormous pressure. About 4 minutes into the hypersonic cruise, a micrometeoroid, no bigger than a grain of sand, strikes the underside of the right wing. Traveling at orbital velocity, the impact is devastating. It punches a small hole and damages the thermal protection tiling. Immediately, sensors in that area begin to report a terrifyingly rapid rise in temperature. A human pilot wouldn't even know it was happening until too late. But Icarus knows instantly. It sees the temperature anomaly, analyzes the rate of increase, and cross-references it with strain gauge data. Without hesitation, Icarus makes a decision. The AI immediately initiates a sharp, controlled roll to the left. This lifts the damaged right wing and uses the left wing to shield the damaged section from the most intense plasma flow. This is not a standard procedure from its training. It is a creative solution, an improvisation generated in response to a novel and life-threatening situation. For about 30 seconds, it holds this awkward orientation, giving the damaged area time to cool down. The temperature stabilizes below the critical failure point. Icarus has saved the mission from certain disaster. While Icarus is busy flying the plane and managing crises, it is also performing another core function, being a scientist. The Valkyrie is not just a vehicle, it is a flying laboratory. Every millisecond, the AI is recording a complete snapshot of the aircraft's state and its surroundings. This data is the real treasure of the mission. The sensors measure the exact shape and temperature of the plasma sheath, helping scientists refine their computer models. Icarus doesn't just record the data, it curates it. The AI knows which information is the most valuable. When it detected the wing breach, it automatically increased the data recording rate from sensors in that area by a factor of 100. This information is crucial not just for building better airplanes, but for advancing space travel and defense technology. The digital footprint will form the foundation for future technologies. After several minutes at Mach 7, the scramjet engine shuts down. Now the Valkyrie faces the most dangerous part, deceleration. Icarus performs wide, sweeping S-turns, increasing the distance traveled through atmosphere, giving more time to slow down gradually while managing heat load. The screens show speed dropping steadily, Mach 6, Mach 5, Mach 4. The fiery plasma sheath begins to fade. As the Valkyrie descends below 50,000 feet, its speed drops below the speed of sound. The aircraft is now behaving like a very fast, very heavy glider. Icarus aligns the Valkyrie with the runway at Edwards Air Force Base, its digital vision systems locking onto the runway markings. It lowers the landing gear, and the 3 wheels drop into place with a satisfying thud. The Valkyrie glides silently over the threshold of the runway, its shadow racing along the ground to meet it. With programmed precision, Icarus executes the landing flare. The rear wheels make contact first, followed by the nose wheel. A drogue parachute deploys, and Icarus uses wheel brakes to roll to a complete stop. A wave of cheers erupts in mission control. The 10-minute flight is a stunning success. Today, Icarus didn't fly too close to the sun. It flew through the fire and returned with the knowledge to build the future.